Real estate professionals. How frustrating is it when someone books an appointment and then just doesn't show up? If you're tired of wasting time on no-shows and chasing down leads, this video is for you. You're about to watch a recent training where we break down the exact go high-level workflows, triggers, and actions you need to master appointment follow-up and make sure no lead falls through the cracks.
Cool.
I would like, so I know you have this all set up. Is there, I'd like to end up learning more about automations, but it's in that I don't know what I don't know yet. So I don't have an idea of, oh, I want to set up an automation for XYZ. How do I do that? It's more like what can be done with automations.
Everything and anything you could possibly dream of. That's the problem.
That is a problem.
So you've probably heard me say this before, but with AI and Go High Level, it does everything you could possibly ever want. And there's this like line of learning and then doing stuff for no reason. And I think if we like zoom out to the world at large in AI, that I was having this conversation with my intro to Go High Level people on Tuesday, is that Go High Level, or not Go High Level, AI is going to just change the way we do everything, but also there's going to be negatives, right? Because now we can easily do so much crazy stuff that our brains are going to just be rewired to do crazy stuff for no reason.
Got it. Yeah.
Which is totally cool because we're learning how to use AI, which I'm totally for. But it's like, if you're going to learn something, do it with the end goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really like Go High Level as well. And I'm all for teaching you different things, but don't go build an AI chatbot if you have no reason to have an AI chatbot, because you're going to spend 10, 12 hours building this thing. You're like, cool, I built it. And then no one's ever going to use it. So they're not going to get to see all your labor and love that you put into it.
Got it. It makes sense.
So it's a balance. Like, I'll teach you some things, but don't go down the rabbit hole too deep.
Nice.
There's a python at the bottom of that hole.
I believe it. I believe it.
So with that being said, what problem are you trying to solve with automations? That's always the question you got to ask.
At this point, there is no problem.
Okay.
It's
So
yeah, the only place I'm at is I had spoken to you last time about testing it out myself just so that I can see from the consumer side, and then just starting to rip this and allow people to set appointments and go through.
awesome. Were you able to test it?
No.
Okay.
I feel like we just talked yesterday. In fact, that's how my week has gone.
Got it. Got it. All right. Let's share your screen. Let's try some things out. So we'll go through, we'll test it, and in that world, you'll start learning more about automations to get you more comfortable with it. Okay, cool. All right. So let me make my screen a little bigger. Do you understand what theoretically is happening here?
Kind of, but go ahead. I know that we put things into place and it triggers like next movements of what goes on and what actions are done.
Okay, so let's use some vocabulary first. So we have triggers and actions when it comes to workflows. That's the only two things that exist inside here. There's a lot of different types of triggers and a lot of different types of actions. You can see that at the top of our little food chain, I don't know what to call that thing, it says trigger, which is an appointment. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Click on that trigger. So this is where we can change the name of a trigger. We can change what type of trigger it is. And when you change what type of trigger it is, it will give you different filters and all sorts of ways to customize the trigger. So right now, the trigger is appointment status. You see where that drop down is?
Yep.
And you can scroll through these, and here's all the different types of triggers there are. So what the trigger is saying is when this thing happens,
Mm-hmm.
make all these other actions happen below it.
Got it.
So you see, you can, and this is where like the learning stage might be applicable here. It's just like going through and reading these things like, oh, there's a trigger for certificates issued. What the heck is that? And then you go down the wormhole and learn about certificates or like private channel. What's that? Group access. What's that? And then you can start building out your knowledge and your language around the things that Go High Level can do.
Yes. Okay. This is very helpful.
IVR, just for your information, is when you call a phone number and it's like press 1 for service, press 2 for customer service, press 3 if you hate IVRs. That's what an IVR is. And you
Got
can build them out, you can build them out and Go High Level.
As in creating them.
You can create them, yeah. So if somebody called your GHL number, you could create an IVR that when they called, the little receptionist thing is like press 1 to talk to Amber, press 2 to send Amber a present, that type of thing.
Press 3 to get Amber's Amazon gift registry.
Yeah, right.
Okay, awesome.
And then when they press 3, it'll automate a text message that sends them your gift registry. Like that's what you can do with these type of things.
Now, don't give me ideas, Bill. Oh my goodness.
The idea is this is what it's for, right? Is to start thinking
Wow.
about stuff. And that's why I have a giant whiteboard so you can write these crazy ideas on a board and only do the ones that are most important to you.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, awesome.
Okay, so we're going to stick with appointment status here. And I'm glad we're here because I want to teach you a really good fundamental thing here, which is the naming scheme of workflows. So right now you see that it's trigger appointment. That's what it's called. And if you click right where it says appointment on the workflow trigger name, yeah. What we're going to do is at the end of the word appointment, hit space, then put a dash, and then put a space. And this is where we're going to label what this trigger actually is, because it's an appointment trigger, sure. But what type of appointment trigger is this? And that's when we look at the filter here. So it's an appointment trigger. I get it. But if you click add a filter, so click add a filter real quick. Hit that. And you could say in calendar. And then you can select which calendar it would be. So you could do this, right? And then you would say appointment discovery call. So now you can see, oh, this trigger is for my discovery call calendar.
And it would
Does that
help
make sense?
you differentiate if you have another trigger for an appointment, like a static one-on-one call like we do, instead of calling it discovery all the time.
Yeah, you could, if you had 12 different calendars, you would need to understand, oh, this triggers for this calendar. But I wouldn't, we're going to delete that in calendar one because I don't like having that. I just, if I have any calendars, I just want this to trigger off for everything because it's an appointment confirmation reminder. Like I don't want to change it based off of the calendar. So I would just name this appointment space dash space confirmed. Just so you know, every calendar appointment you have that somebody books with you is automatically going to be confirmed. So that's what we're saying here. If the calendar event is confirmed, do this thing.
Awesome.
And then just press save. And to go along with this, right? So we named the trigger. And you're also going to want to name the workflow itself to reflect what actually is going on in the workflow. So the name of this is calendar appointment confirmation plus reminder. I think this name is perfectly fine because it says exactly what it is. It's a calendar appointment confirmation plus reminder. Going back to the example, if we had a discovery call calendar and a 15-minute calendar, 15-minute call calendar, for example, we would make sure we labeled this workflow name with discovery call. So we know like, oh, this is the discovery call calendar appointment confirmation versus the 15-minute calendar appointment confirmation. Make sense?
It does.
Okay, because eventually you may end up with a bunch of different workflows and things can get confusing if you don't label them correctly. Like think about if you have a filing cabinet and all of your files in there aren't labeled, like you're gonna be like, what's in this folder? I don't know, it's just a folder inside my filing cabinet. So same deal. We can build folders and then put different workflows in there. We need to name the folders correctly, but we also need to name the files inside those folders so we can quickly understand what they are at a glance.
Got it. Yep, that makes perfect
And
sense.
then when we're building these workflows as well, we don't want the triggers and the actions to be ambiguous. So right now, and this probably isn't the best example because it's a really simple workflow, but right now, the first action is create or update opportunity. Well, great. What is it doing? Are we creating it or are we updating it? Where is it doing it? So click that first action. Yep. So what this is doing is creating or updating opportunity in calendar appointment status pipeline in pipeline stage confirmed. So see, we had no idea what it was actually doing until we opened it up. And when you start having to figure out what something is by, oh, what does this thing do? Let me click into it. It's a lot of clicks if you have a workflow that's like 40 actions deep.
Yep.
So let's rename this. So keep that because that is what we're doing. We're either creating or updating it. And then do space dash space. So pipeline is calendar appointment status.
You want
So
that in the action name?
yeah, type in calendar appointment status there. You can abbreviate it, yeah. And then space dash space again, confirmed. So we're leaving a breadcrumb trail. Oh, this is creator update opportunity in calendar appointment status and confirmed. You'll start to learn, when you have one of these opportunity actions that the calendar appointment status is the pipeline and the confirmed is the stage. You could label them more. You could say calendar appointment status parenthesis pipeline. So you could label it even more in depth so you know what it is. So after calendar appointment status, after that word, yeah, just parenthesis pipeline. And then do after confirmed parenthesis stage. So until you really start to understand what these things do, this is probably the best way to do it. And honestly, this is just good lesson, like good things to get ingrained in how you do stuff. Because now, if a year from now you hire someone, they're going to be like, oh, I know exactly what this is. It's creating an update opportunity in the pipeline, counter appointment status, in the confirmed stage. They're going to have, there's no discrepancy what this thing does now.
Okay. What is this action deprecation notice?
So you will see this time every so often with Go High Level where they built something and it was great, and then they figured out a better way to build it so that they're going to stop using it eventually.
Got it.
So it's fine for now, just keep using it. But currently, there is also 2 in beta, and I'll show you this. So press save in the bottom right real quick. And now right below that box, press the plus button. And now just type in OPP for opportunity. Okay, so there's creator update opportunity there. But now if you go to the bottom, there's create opportunity and update opportunity. They're
They-
different, which allows you way more flexibility and a ton of other stuff you can do with it. So probably if you're going to continue to build things, don't use creator update opportunity. Use the separate ones for whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
But for now, it's fine. It'll always be there. The creator update opportunity, it'll always work. It's just better to learn the new best thing.
Got it.
Cool. All right, so let's do the same thing from remove from workflow. And you can see the action here is the no-show canceled, no-show nurture workflow that we're removing it from. So yeah, just space that space and no-show, just copy that exactly how it is. Yeah, you can't copy that one, it's a bummer. Perfect. Cool. So what it's saying is when somebody books an appointment, remove them from this workflow for no-show nurture. If you remember, the no-show nurture is if somebody cancels a meeting with you and you press cancel in the appointment status, it'll send them down this journey of like, hey, you canceled, here's my calendar, book again. And we don't want them to continue to get those messages if they just booked a call. So that's why we remove them from that workflow.
Got it.
Before you leave here, click that recipe no-show nurture, and I think we should add another one. So I'm wondering if that recipe actually is labeled incorrectly, because it should be canceled and no-show, because those are 2 different actions inside the appointment. So here's what we're going to do. Go up to the tab on your window browser and right click it where the Amplify Technologies tab is and hit duplicate. And once this loads, because if we just went back, I always get confused of like, oh, what was I doing? Where was I at? So now we just leave that open because we know where we're going. Hit back to workflows. And now recipe, yep, click that one. Let's open that up. Okay, see, look at that. This is labeled wrong. So it's actually, so we do have a trigger for no show and we do have a no show for canceled. So you see what's happening? Like the trigger is no show and the trigger is also canceled.
Yep.
And we have that labeled in the name of the workflow. Rename that workflow, take out the word recipe. We don't need to know that. It just shows that because a recipe is a pre-built automation inside Go High Level, and that's just how they label it. But we don't need that.
So on this, how many times does it ask them to to follow schedule?
So as soon as you change the status of the appointment, it's immediately going to trigger an email and an SMS to go out. Right? That's what it's saying. The first one is the email.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the second one's an SMS. And then it's going to wait a day. And then it's just going to send them an SMS.
And then that's it.
That was it. That's
Okay.
it.
Got it. Okay.
So I think I'm losing my mind. Make sure you save this. I can tell it's getting close to Friday. My brain stops functioning pretty well. Yeah,
Okay,
close
so
that tab.
we
Yep,
can go
we're done
back
with that
to
one. Yeah, look, it does say no show and canceled. I am just losing my brain.
it is quite all right. And then reload to keep the
Nope.
changes.
Nope. Save this here.
It will still say the recipe part.
Save it in the bottom right.
Ah,
Let's see, the remove from workflow one. Did it work? No, it didn't save it because your remove from workflow action name got deleted. The action name, yeah, all that hard work you did up there. We'll refresh the screen after we save all this, and it should still work and show up correctly. Hit save top right first. And now refresh it. As long as we save the other one, it should now show up in that remove from workflow correctly. There it is.
awesome.
Cool. So I think this is a really good practice to do, is go through these things and like, okay, what is all this doing? Let me rename it. Let me change any words that I want to change out of here. Because it kind of like forces you to go through and understand the things that are happening inside of these automations.
Just making a note. Okay. So this one's confirmation email,
Yep.
which is exactly what it is.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much more labeling. Like if we had if we had multiple calendars and then maybe label it, but still a confirmation email. This is a confirmation SMS. So we should probably rename this action to confirmation SMS, just like the other one is confirmation email. See how this is like, you can understand what's actually happening in this now without clicking through everything.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like you were saying, when you get 40 actions deep.
Yeah, it's very confusing. It was just like SMS, email, update.
Okay. That makes sense. This one makes sense. Okay, and then wait 23 hours. So why is it waiting 23 hours? What's the
So it's going to wait.
response?
It's going to wait 23 hours to do the next step.
Ah, got it.
So it's what it's saying is wait 23 hours for the next appointment, and it's actually before the next appointment. So you see it says wait. The wait for step is wait for event appointment time. So it's saying wait for the event appointment time. Makes sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
And then when. You could change it to either before or after. And then we're saying, so wait 23 hours before the appointment. And then it's going to go to the next step.
Okay, which
I love that one. So
so
label that one, the action name on it. I would just do SMS space dash space respond taco. You know what that means. You'll be like, yep, that's my taco response.
okay, so okay, just so I'm tracking, 24 hours before the appointment. So yesterday, I got a message from you by an email as well as an SMS reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Then it waited 23 hours and it sent me an SMS an hour before our appointment saying, hey, we're meeting. And then this one, 1 hour before. Is that right? Is that when this one went out?
So no, it's saying wait 23 hours, right? That wait step.
Yep.
And imagine you're you're a little figure, right? And you're a game piece on the board, and you're on that little block on the game board. It says wait 23 hours. So your little figure is waiting 23 hours before the appointment. As soon as 23 hours before the appointment comes off, like as soon as you hit 23 hours before the appointment, you move the piece, and the piece moves down to SMS taco. And then your figure is going to get that message. The system's like, oh, cool. The Amber figure has moved to the SMS now. Send it. And then as soon as it's sent, your little figure is going to move to 1 hour before appointment, and you're going to wait there. Your little figure is going to wait.
Got it.
I like that analogy. I never thought about that as like a game piece, right? On a game board.
The way you explain in my mind, even how you were like, go duplicate the tab to do, that's exactly what I do when I'm
Cool.
testing and changing things around. So I'm like with you.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So then your game piece moves to the 1 hour reminder email.
Yep.
And then as soon as the email is sent, boom, your game piece moves immediately to the SMS.
Yep.
And then as soon as that's sent, your game piece moves to wait for 10 minutes.
Yep.
10 minutes hits, boom, game piece moves again. Email, text, move, done.
And then we're on the call. Or if I don't show up, and on your side, do you have to say that I didn't show up for it to start triggering the no show?
Yes. So go to hit save first. And then do you have any appointments coming up with anyone?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to just share my screen because it's going to be easier for you to see this. Let's share the screen. Cool.
Okay.
So let's move out of your account, come into here, come into your name. Where are you? Amber. So I'm waiting for you, right, on the call, and I'm waiting. I usually only wait like 6 minutes. If nobody's there in 6 minutes, I'm out. So when I'm waiting, I have my Google Meet screen up, and then I have this screen up. And if you are not there, I just click this little edit button on the most current meeting, which this is today, pulls this up, And then I go down here to the bottom and click this. Canceled. So if somebody messages me a day before and they're like, yo, I got to cancel, awesome. Come in here and I press cancel. And it'll send them through that workflow that we just looked at.
Got it.
If somebody doesn't show up 6 minutes, 7 minutes after, 10 minutes after I'm waiting, I just hit no show. They are the same automation, right? So you could just click one, or you could just click cancel. You could click no show. I'm lazy. I just wanted to create a really simple automation that gets people to rebook. I probably should care whether they canceled or no show, but I don't. If they don't show or cancel, I just put them in a pipeline, maybe. I don't even know if I do that. I probably should, but I just care that I'm sending out the message to get them to rebook. Because if somebody cancels, they usually want to rebook, and I don't want to have to go through and here's my link, follow up with them every day. Like I don't want to do that. So I just built the automation to go do it for me.
I like it.
Cool. All right. So we're back to sharing your screen. I still see that. And so I guess we're done with that one. We did the appointment reminder. Do you want to go back through the no-show canceled one?
Yeah. Okay, so either no show or canceled, which by the way, I kind of like it because canceled means they intentionally were in touch with you. No show means you didn't hear from them. So
Yeah, and if you really cared about whether they were a no-show or canceled, you could further delineate this, and you could put an if-then step right there in the beginning. It says, if they were a no-show, so right, that first plus, hit that, and now type in if. Or it's if else. Yeah, click if else. So what we could say is on these branches, right, where it says select, click that. Workflow trigger. So that's like third one down. Select operator. I don't know why it's called operator. Is. And these are your two triggers. So you'd say if they're a no-show, then you could add another branch below it where it says add branch.
nope, go back.
Yeah, add a branch. And then this would be workflow trigger is canceled. And now hit save. So now it's going to say, cool, if you press no show or canceled, we're going to send them down two different branches. One would be the no show, one would be the canceled. So you could say, cool, if somebody no shows me, I'm going to send them a really nasty message. And I'm going to change their opportunity stage to no show. And you could get really intricate with this thing.
Yeah.
I tend to not want to do it because then it's like, well, if I do that, and then if they book another call, then I just have to build another automation to move them from here to there. And like, is it worth it for me to go really know who no showed and who didn't, like who canceled and didn't reschedule? Like, my workaround for that is I have an automation that is, if I haven't talked to someone in 3 months, I send them a message and I try to get them on a call. Like that's it. If I haven't heard from somebody in 3 months, I want to talk to them. And that's how I deal with, they didn't show and they didn't rebook. Like, I don't care. If I haven't talked to them in 3 months, I'm going to send them a message to get them to rebook.
Yeah, makes sense. Also, I'm one that I can get stuck in all the details and completely forget the destination. So
So easy to do here. And a lot of people will get stuck in this if else condition and they'll build something that's like 50 actions deep. And you're like, wow, that's a really pretty family tree. What does it do? They're like, oh, this is just in case, no somebody shows or no shows. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of work for a no show canceled sequence. Like that seems very complicated. And do you actually use the opportunity stages? Like, oh no, I never checked that. I'm like, well, then why'd you build that thing if it wasn't a problem? Don't build it
Yeah.
if it's not a problem.
Awesome. All right. So if we want to remove what this is,
So here's the fun part. Click out of this little box that you just opened, and where it says reschedule follow-up link, I lost your mouse. There it is to the left. Click the three little dots to the right of it. Yep. Yep. And go to move and all actions from here and move it above the condition.
drag it.
No, just click where it says move here. Yep. Click that. Boom. Now
Oh,
scroll down,
fun.
scroll down a little bit. And where it says condition, click three dots and hit delete. Delete action. It's going to delete all that other stuff.
Okay.
Hooray.
Yay. Okay. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah. And now go through and you could label these, I don't know. I think there's a balance of I know what is in this. This is a no show, cancel, no show, nurture. I know I can obviously see what's happening here. Reschedule follow-up link email, then an SMS, wait for a day, reschedule. I can understand that pretty quickly. But do I follow best practices sometimes when they're complicated and I can't understand quickly what it is that it is from the label? So up to you whether you want to go through and do that. Best practice would say do it. Practically, I don't know. I'm lazy, so who knows?
Got it. I'm good.
Sweet, hit save. Always save, always save. Do you feel like you have a little better understanding of automations today?
I do. I also like not just saying, oh, this is what it does, but understanding how the pieces work.
Yes, it's useless if you just hear what it does and you don't know what it actually physically does.
Mhm.
It's like talking about something and never doing it.
Yeah.
You'll never truly understand until you do something.
And then I like how you have yours set up, but like if I had some crazy idea, like 6 hours before our meeting, I want to send out something random through a text message to them, I now know how I can. So,
Yeah, I think that's a great idea if you have the right thing to send. Like I was talking with somebody the other day. What were they doing? Oh, it was a regenerative medical company, so stem cells, right? And they do like 65 events a month, all sorts of crazy stuff.
wow.
They were having they run Facebook ads, do mailers, get the old people to come to a dinner, paid for dinner by them, and they pitch them regenerative medicine. And then at the end of the dinner, the presentation, they would book in-home meetings with the people who are interested. And then there was like this gap between dinner, the booking of the in-home meeting, and the actual meeting. And there was like one appointment reminder. And when they got there, the care specialist, whoever it was like, they had to educate the person on everything again,
Mm,
because it could be like a week or a few days, right? And to your point, they said, why don't you, like, what's stopping you from sending a appointment confirmation reminder, first of all, like a real one, and then, right as they schedule, you wait like 2 hours so they get home, and it's when they get home they're sitting there with their spouse or by themselves and they're thinking about the dinner. Boom, email, SMS, hey, thanks for joining us at the dinner. Here's a little more information, like here's some things to think about, here's some frequently asked questions people get. And you're just keeping people engaged
yeah.
until your salesperson gets there,
Yep.
because that's where a lot of people drop off, is like, oh, I liked it then, but I don't know, moment's over. You got to keep them in the moment. And that's what this is good for. And what you were saying, 6 hours before, send them something exciting.
Yeah. I like it. And
All
also,
right.
that makes you think about too when you are consulting, seeing where the problem is. They would show up for the appointment and they'd have to retrain. So what needs to happen to alleviate that? Boom.
Yep,
Okay.
that's exactly it. And I find in the real estate go high level world where you and I kind of live and just connecting, this is just the beginning of stuff that we can do. And yeah, operationally, things can get really interesting and fun.
Yes,
Can I show you something I think you may be interested in learning?
absolutely.
All right, so I want to take this over. Entire screen. I think it's over here. So I know you like consulting and websites and businesses and all that's fun stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my dad's small business. He installs bathroom grab bars. He's been doing it for like 15 years. I'll send you the site because I'm going to put it in the chat. You can watch the video when we're done. You'll enjoy it. I'm in it. I'm 10 years younger, and it's a really silly video. We live in a suburb of Philadelphia, and he services 30 miles, kind of like every small business. That's a service-based business. This site was built probably 10 years ago. Here's the only place that says our service area, southeastern Pennsylvania. This sucks for local SEO because we service a ton of cities in a 30-mile radius of where we live or where he lives. I've wanted to build him a site that is service plus location for every city in that area. But turns out there is over 180 cities in that 30-mile radius.
What?
So for me to go build 180 pages, not just, Exton, PA, bathroom grab bars, but we also have 6 or 7 other things that we do. So you take that 180 and you multiply it by 7 because you need a service page, a location plus service for each service at each location.
Yeah.
I never did it because it was that's not me. I have no idea how to do it. I tried for years. I spent hundreds of hours probably through that time trying to figure it out. Now, Google Firebase, which is let's see if I have one already up. It's kind
I
of
want that site also. Is it live yet?
which
The
one?
one- That one, the Lake Charles.
Oh yeah, it's live. I got it to work finally.
Yay. Yeah, show it to me because I was telling somebody else about it.
Yeah, that's in there. So I'm trying to find like the actual editor. Do I have it here? So I showed you bolt.new a while ago, didn't I?
I
Maybe
don't
not.
believe so.
So this is the same thing as like ChatGPT, right? You talk
Mhm.
into it, but when you tell it stuff, it literally goes and codes it. That's what's so crazy about this. I just gave it the idea and I gave it some research and it went and built this whole Lake Charles site. If we'll just go here because I pulled this one over. It did this whole thing. It came up with all the font, all the words, all the layout, everything, all by itself. Super impressed.
Wow.
Then I was like, well, this Lake Charles site is cool, but what about all the locations around it? AI picture, AI video, right? Google Video for the win. Came up with all this stuff, right? All of it.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've got, it's not Preen. I don't know. They've got, Creole, Southern French down there. So I don't know how to pronounce anything when we come down there. But here is 2 services. And nobody's really ever going to land on this page. But what this does is it helps delineate the services into separate pages because we have a sell your house, Preen, Louisiana, and sell your mobile home in Preen. So we've got these 2 local SEO keywords. Actually, let's just bring up the real one. It's easier. Where's the real one? This one. So this will be easier to understand because we actually see. So you see our structure, right? Lake Charles home offers, and then Preen, Louisiana. So
Mhm.
now we're really telling Google like, hey, we service this area in Louisiana. Then we click here. Then it's sell my mobile home fast in Preen, Louisiana. So now when somebody searches sell my home for cash, like those type of languages in this area, this page is going to come up for mobile homes.
Nice.
So we only did it for 7 or 9 locations here. But here's the crazy part. This page took me a day, 2 days to build because I had never done this before. I had no idea what was going on. And then we look at, I got way too many screens open here. We look at this page for grab bars. So it coded all this. I gave it the picture, it's a screenshot from the video. I told it I wanted a city selector so people can come in if for some reason they land on the homepage, they can just type in their city and find it. I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy." And it just takes them straight to our main service page in the location. Like I was saying, so right, here's all of our services that we offer. I'm still going through and fixing some things, some pictures and stuff, but 7 services. So remember that. Oh, this
Mhm.
looks weird. I wonder why that's like that. Here are all the counties we service. There's like 30 to 40 locations in each one of these counties, and we've got 6 counties. So you think about it, 6 counties, let's just say 30 cities in each county. That's 180 location pages like this.
Yep.
180 services, like city pages. And then you multiply it by 7 because every location has 7 service pages inside of it. Horsham, PA, whatever this one is, bathroom over the tub wall. I don't know. I'm still like working on it, but this one was probably accessible shower seats or something. So you take 180 times by 7.
1260.
That's how many pages exist on this website.
Wow.
This
I'm
page took me, I don't know, 6 hours to build so far. 1,260 pages. I could have never, I can't do that inside Go High Level. It's impossible to build this structure. It would take me like 12 years and a team of 30 to build that.
Yeah, crazy. Wow. So Firebase Studio.
Yep.
And this is a Google product?
hmm Yeah, it's free for Google. It
That
does, it's free
explains
for me because I have Google Workspace, so I think it's free for everybody. I don't know. I think it actually throttled me because I tried to create a new one yesterday and today. It's like, nope, you can't create a new one yet. Oh, okay. I don't know. I got to dig into it. It still lets me edit the ones I'm doing, so I'm not sure what's actually happening on there. But now, like, I love small businesses because I grew up with one, and you have two.
Mhm.
And you've heard of rank and rent before?
Rank and rent. Nope.
So rank and rent is a business model where someone goes in and ranks a website organically on Google using just organic. Sometimes you can get a Google business listing, but basically with my dad, for example, I'm going to go rank this site on him for him. So whenever somebody searches bathroom grab bars for in Malvern, his listing shows up, people call. Now, am I going to charge him? Probably after a while. I want a bunch of leads to come in. I want to make a bunch of money. And then I'd be like, Dad, how much money have you made off this page? And he's gonna be like, 10,000 bucks. I'm like, great. How about you pay me $500 a month now? I ranked it and now I rent it to him. It's my site. I control it. I keep building it. I keep improving it. He keeps generating money off of it. Same thing with Corey. I own it. He gets the leads. Once he starts getting leads and they're great leads, he makes a bunch of money. What is he gonna make 10 grand off of one thing? Great, Corey, pay me 500 bucks a month.
That's a beautiful idea. And you keep up with
They don't have to do anything. And some people are like, oh, I need to own it. I'm like, well, you want to own it? You got to pay me. I think I did one for somebody the other bunch of months ago before this. And they were like, well, what happens if I want to buy it outright? And I was like, it's going to cost you 30 grand for you to buy this because I'm putting all this work into it all the time. He's like, oh, I only want to pay 3 grand. I was like, great. Well, why don't you just pay me 3 grand now? I don't want to. So what do you want? You want everything and pay for nothing, or do you want me to manage this thing forever and continue to generate you leads? Like, do you really care about owning the website, or do you just want to make the money?
Yeah, I get that. And that from the consumer standpoint, they're like, oh, but if it's not mine, then you control it. And I always have to go through you. And some people have not such a loving heart to be able to help.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's going to be expensive for you to go do all the things I did. Like, I should charge my dad 10 grand for that site. There's
Hmm.
a 1,200 pages on there. That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow, how cool.
So I don't know. Rank and Rent is a big business. There's someone in sub two, Luke Vanderveer, that does it, and he probably makes like 200 grand a month.
Wow.
Yeah, he's crushing it. You can find him on the internet. He's on YouTube. You can check him out. Luke, I'll spell his name because it's a weird one in the chat. Luke Vanderveer. It's a lot of E's and a lot of R's.
Awesome.
And he's got some YouTube stuff out there too. He sells a course, but I think it's just a really good business model for small businesses because they're focused on small business stuff. They don't need to deal with lead generation. And I'm not going to just sell them a website. I'm going to say, hey, can I just send you the leads? And once you make some money, how about you rent it? Or if you want to buy it, great. It's going to be expensive, but you can buy it from me. And then you're going to have to pay for me to manage it. So $500 or 30 grand, you tell me.
Yeah. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that with me. That's so amazing. And
Yeah,
now my
Firebase.
mind is, gosh, what you can do is just crazy.
Yeah. So if you know of anyone that's got a small business that wants that type of thing, let me know. I've got a small little list of people that I may or may not work with. I don't know. We'll see. I still have to prove these things out because I am still learning how to backlinks and citations and all this stuff. So I'm not a pro. I'm just I know enough, but I don't have the track record for it yet.
You know what? I might be your person to work with guinea pigging it out because I'm looking to start a lawn care business locally here. It's for my brother.
Hmm.
I'm structuring it to where um, we're not quite 50-50. I've got more equity ownership in it, but the end goal is it's going to become his after some time. I'm
Okay.
gonna, but with what you just showed me on your 1,200 pages would be great. So that's, and my thing is I would like to be a part of seeing pieces of how you're doing it.
First things first, before anybody buys a URL, domain name, a business LLC, we have to go through, and the big key to make it all better and easier is your Google My Business listing. You got to have one. Otherwise, it's going to be much more difficult, especially in a landscape world. And the business for the landscape, like it should be as close to, what city are you guys going to focus in?
Kissimmee.
So it should be like Kissimmee Lawn Mowing. Like that should be the legal entity LLC name. Because Google is going to be like, yo, you're just trying to stuff keywords into this Google business listing, and we don't allow that. You're going to be like, listen, here's my LLC docs. This is literally the name of my business. And then we can call your Google business profile Kissimmee Lawn Mowing Kissimmee LLC. And Google has no choice but to let us do it. And then we'll look for a URL that is similar to that too, so we can get as close to that, because that's what Google's going to look at. Business name, how close is it? How close is the URL? And then how many times can we talk about Kissimmee and areas around Kissimmee with landscaping and all that stuff?
So in that instance, so Kissimmee, we are super close to Orlando. Like I can almost spit and it's there. Same with St. Cloud.
Yeah.
Orlando has a bigger base. So maybe I should be doing it for both.
You really got to look at the competition in the area. Landscaping, lawn mowing is a very competitive market. And that's really where I come in and I'm like, do I have the experience to do it? Because we can build the site. That's easy. But we have to look at the competitors and like, how long have they been in business? How many pages do they have? How many citations do they have? How many backlinks do they have? And this is all trust factors that Google's going to look at. So my guess is it's probably going to be a more difficult one to rank in, especially Orlando. Like Orlando is going to be super competitive. So I would say look at the smaller places and just use your phone and start typing in lawn mowing in your little, like all the little local areas around you. Find the place that looks the easiest to rank in. Like look at the websites, find the shittiest websites that are ranking up top. Look at the Google business listings. Hopefully there are none in some of those areas. And then that's the easy targets. Because we need to look for the easy targets in the beginning, because then Google's will be like, whoa, people are coming to their site, spending time there and doing a thing. They must be awesome. And then that'll help us rank in Orlando, because Orlando is going to be competitive.
Okay, awesome. I have one last question and then I know you have to bounce. So we're building this out, my ABK Creative for real estate. But if I want to build one out for the lawn care, is that its own system, own name for Go High Level to do everything? Or am I able to have an account within? If that makes any sense.
So you can have a sub account within. So, but the problem with having a sub account, a thing that is with a sub account, is that it's separate, completely 100% separate from your ADK, ABK. And that means you need to do a whole new registration for your phone number. And that's the biggest hurdle there, is getting it registered.
And it would be the same phone number.
Different phone number, whole different phone number.
Okay. That's what I would want. I guess asking like, can I have that entire sub account within my ABK, but nobody knows it's tied into ABK, like different phone number, everything.
Thanks for watching. If you're a real estate professional ready to get more out of Go High Level, I'd love to help you take the next step. Book a free 50-minute one-on-one call with me. Let's chat about your business, dive into your GHL setup, and solve your biggest challenges together. Just head to reiamplify.com/aboutme to grab your spot. I look forward to helping you grow.